I am pleased to welcome Brian and Beverly Engelston here to talk about their final send-off concert after inspiring students over at Palm Springs High School for more than 25 years. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
So we were just chatting before we got started about what's next after your retirement, but tell me about how you both got into working with high school students and band.
Well, we actually grew up in a community up in Canada, Calgary, that had a number of community bands, and Bev was involved as a batonist, and and I was a trumpet player, and we started out as members and then instructors, and then I ended up as an assistant director and then a director, and eventually decided to make it my career. And here we are 37 years later.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
And your journey was a little similar, different?
Little similar. Yeah, so I took a little bit of a different road. I worked with 5 of the community bands, but I'm a nurse, so I took a little segue and became a nurse, and did the community bands as a fun sort of extracurricular activity. And when we got married, we pooled our resources, and I've been working with him for the last 37 years, but we've been married now for 32 years this year.
Wow,
Working
congratulations.
together.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
It's a few.
Well, and it's so cool that you, and doing this and working with the kids and bands, it's taken you, I mean, not just here to the desert, but you've been all over the world working with students and showing them sort of a different perspective. Talk a little bit about that.
One of the things when we first moved here is we discovered that a lot of the students had never been outside the valley, and the vast majority had never been beyond about 50 or 100 miles. And so when we first arrived, we grew up in these bands where we had a chance to travel. So we ended up taking the group to Canada the first year, and then while we were up there, we actually had an offer to go over to Australia.
Oh,
and
cool.
so 2 years later, we ended up in Australia and New Zealand, and playing at the Sydney Opera House. And then while we were setting up that tour, we had another offer to go and play in Italy and France. And then from there, it just became sort of a biannual kind of thing where every 2 years we would be able to travel and show the students the world, and give them that opportunity that a lot of students didn't have a chance to be able to go and do.
Right. Well, and then you also, I was impressed by reading that you were the only band out of California that was part of President Obama's second inaugural parade. So that's very cool. So that brings us to this concert that's going to be happening on Wednesday, the 18th. It's your final send-off. What can we expect from that?
Well, we put together a program together, so music that means a lot to both he and I. So as we've traveled and traversed the last 27 years at Palm Springs High School, you know, we've been able to pool our resources and our thoughts. So the music that we've chosen for our final send-off is something that it just means a lot to us. So we'll perform and celebrate the students' success, and then go from there.
And where is that going to be taking place, and a time?
It's at 6:30 on Wednesday the 18th at the Richard Center for the Arts in Palm Springs.
Okay.
It's free admission.
We have the details there on the screen. So it's free for anybody to attend.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Absolutely.
All right. And for more information, they can visit psband.org. Is that correct?
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good luck and happy retirement, and thank you so much for joining us. And we're excited to hear what you two do after retirement. Still going to be working in nursing, but we'll see where band takes you.
Well, thank you. Thanks so very much.
Thank you both.